Oh, boy, the 9-ball almost dropped on that first break shot. So here we go again. We know the 9-ball is not tight in that rack, so it could be interesting. Well, Ron's got a table to work with here.
Okay. We have a policy. If you're not in your seat, when I get here, it's a one-game penalty, and we're missing one. So you hate to do this one. We're looking for Mr. Blaze. All right. He's from Quebec City, Quebec. Finished second in 2013 Canadian 10-ball championship, third in the 2013
Well, this is
Canadian 9-ball championship.
a bit of a sticky wicket position here.
He's not present. Jeff Blaze and his opponent from Rochester, New York, another regular on our tour as well as here at Turning Stone. He's a former CNY Tour winner, plays out of Camelot Village in Rochester, Marco Can. All right, moving on over to table number 13 from Great Barrington, Massachusetts. He's sponsored by
Well, now Mike Dechaine gets to come to the table. Mike is playing with an interesting cue that a lot of people are taking a look at. This is now I could get this a little bit wrong, so I believe this is a prototype of a cue that's being researched by Mike's sponsor, Predator. We don't know the materials that it's made from, but it's definitely not wood. And Mike absolutely loves it. He says it hits like nothing he's ever played with before. And he is supremely confident with this stick in his hands. So he says this cue may not be on the market for a year or more, but he's got one.
Okay, let's go back to table number 14. She's a 5-time winner on our Jazz Northeast 9-ball.
And as usual, Mike doesn't waste much time running through a rack.
She's a 25-time winner on the WPBA Tour.
Plays with a very confident, comfortable pace.
She's a BCA Hall of Famer. She's on ESPN pretty much every time Pool is on. She's from Feasterville, Pennsylvania. Miss Karen Core. Okay, table number 15 from Pilsner.
Mike Dechaine picks up the first rack, leads our match 1-0. It is a race to 9 games.
Pittston, Pennsylvania. He's currently the Woodiac Memorial Street Pool champion. He has multiple runs over 200 balls. That's impressive. I never ran 200. He's the owner of Cosmos Billiards. Kevin Clark and his opponent. He's from.
Okay, keep your eye on the 9-ball. You know, if you've got a perfectly tight rack, that 9-ball is just going to sit there. It's not going to move. But the 9-ball on this table has got quite a bit of motion in it. Mike, the last thing you want him to do is tighten that rack up. Let the 9-ball move. Something might happen. If there's a crack in the rack between the 6 and the 2, that would explain why he's breaking from this side of the table. You break from the side of the table where the crack is, and it gives the 9-ball a path. If you'd like to know more about the rack, I suggest you read Joe Tucker's book of racking secrets. It's really quite an amazing work.
Just want to remind everyone, please turn the ringers off on your cell phones because they can be very distracting to the players. Players as well, please turn the ringers off. And as I said before, players, you should have your cell phones should not be anywhere near you. No texting, you will be disqualified. And also remember, we're going to raffle off these gorgeous custom engraved jazz tunes. They're right up in the front here, valued at $1,200 each. Anyone can participate in our raffle. You don't have to be present to win. Ticket prices are only $5 each, 3 for 10 or 7 for 20. And remember, I have $10 free play coupons in case anybody would
Nothing to stop him now.
And remember to fill out a comment card. We appreciate it. Please fill out a comment card. Thank you.
I have seen Mike run 8 racks in a row. Very powerful young man. All right, well, now that Zuglin has finished his announcements, I would like to give a big shout out and thanks to the people who make it possible for us to be here, the TAP League, Lucasi Hybrid Qs, and Accustats. Thanks to all of you. And Dechaine now leads 2-0. Doesn't seem to be slowing down any. Mike will be breaking with the new Predator BK3. I saw him hit a break shot with this cue at the BCA trade show. And we had 4 different measuring devices on it, and they all said he hit between 35 and 37 miles an hour. And that's incredible. But with the table breaking the way it is, he may not use full power. May want to take something off. But when he wants power, he has sure got it. Not changing his braking position. He did take quite a bit off that stroke, though. 8 ball's just not going to quite get there. And the 2 ball is in a very ugly spot down here by the 9. So there is a problem to solve early. Going to try something different. Bank the 1 back into the 9 and try to have it set up for a 1-9 combo after the 2 goes in. But you'd have to be crazy to pull that shot. My goodness. I mean, it was a great shot, but there's just no payback. I was convinced he was going to go for a safety. Ooh, this may be a foul. Nope, it's a good shot. Dechaine just wants to nip the edge of this ball and go 3 rails and out. Leave the 2 behind the 9. No, he's got a different plan. Well, it'll work. Certainly didn't leave Ron a shot. Oh, if Ron gets behind the 7, he's done well. Oh, and he has done real well. Golly. He's going to try and just tie some balls up here. Oh, well, he was giving that ball in hand anyway, so it doesn't matter. If he gets behind the 7 and 8, he's going to, nope, he doesn't. Thought he might be able to put Mike on 2 fouls with that shot. But that is not to be. He could scratch off this, though. Ooh. Did not hit it. So Mike is on 2 fouls now. If Ron can kiss off this ball and send the cue ball down behind the 8 and marry it, Dechaine will be in it deep. Yeah, at the same time, though, the run is there. Yeah, let's just run the balls out. Getting shape on the 5 is the only challenge left. And it looks like he just solved that problem. He can just draw this ball right across to the left side of the table, be between the 5 and the 6, and away we go. Well, being on the rail like this makes the shot a lot tougher because you've only got a third of the cue ball to work with, and it's going to be going forward when you want it to stun off the 7 or just draw back a little bit. So he made his life a bit harder, a good bit harder. Wonder if he can bounce around the 8, come off the side rail. Nope, he's trying to slow roll it, and oh boy, I don't know. He may have gotten there, but he's really going to have to turn that cue ball loose. Oh, he didn't have to turn it loose. He had more of that ball than I thought. And look at this, straight in. Nice touch, Mr. Casanzio. 2-1, Dechaine leads. And a dry break brings Mike Dechaine to the table. Boy, these guys sure make it look easy. It's disgusting. Well executed rack by Mike Dechaine. And this will pop his lead up to 3-1. Oh, we've got our TP up. Wow, Dechaine shooting a 926. Casanzio, 786. Well, now Mike's got a wing ball going. Maybe he's discovered something here. See if he does it again in the next rack. Or the next rack he breaks, rather. I don't think I have to say anything. Although the shape leaves something to be desired. Let's see how quickly he gets right back in line. Oh, it won't be this time. Well, Mike is really in gear. Yeah, he's in good shape, but he's going to have to go around the world to get there. Or draw back to the other side of the table and take the long shot. But Mike likes to move the ball around, so. No, he's going to draw back, take the longer shot. Cool. Oh, he didn't have any angle. I thought he had some angle. And in no time at all, it's 4-1. Mike Dechaine. New numbers, Mike's up to 944. Ron is kind of stalled there in the high 700s. This scoring system, by the way, if you'd like some trivia, is where AccuStats got their name. They started out keeping accurate statistics on pool players. And one day they just brought a camera in, I believe it was in Reno, and taped a match. And somebody, a fan, came up and said, "Hey, can I buy a copy of that tape?" And Pat said, this might work too. And so the legend of AccuStats videos was born just because a fan thought to ask to buy a tape. The first AccuStats tapes did not have commentary. I can't believe he took that shot on. But now at least we get to see Ron play a little pool. Yeah, the first AccuStats tapes did not have commentary. And then, let's see, who was the first player? I think it was Billy Incardona that first stepped up and said, "Let me talk to the audience." And that would have been in Phoenix. Yeah, and the very first commentary on an AccuStats match was done by Billy Incardona with Bobby Hunter in the booth. And they didn't start until the middle of the match. So we've come a long way, baby. Although they've really gone downhill on their commentators. Look how long that bridge is. Casanzio gets it closer, 4-2, and he's breaking. See if he learned anything from Dechaine's break shot. If he did, you'll see the 8-ball disappear. Or the 4-ball, depending on which side of the table he breaks from. Well, he made the 8-ball, but that was off of a kiss. And Look where the 9-ball wound up. Ooh, boy. Tasty, tasty, tasty. In fact, it's so tasty, he may push out and put that 9-ball in the pocket. Goes the banking the 1-ball into the 9 is what he's looking at, and I wouldn't advise anyone that shot. He's thinking better of it. No, he's not. He's going to take on this bank. If he makes this shot, we ought to just give him the match. Oh, he played it. He played a two-way shot. He played a safety off of it as well. I believe Ron's got enough of this ball to make it. But the 2-ball is just to the left of the 1-ball. So he's got to find a clear path to go up and down the table, which to me says he's got to load this up with some left to check it off of this rail, which makes the shot tougher because it's going to deflect away from the ball. See what he's going to do here. Okay. I don't know where that shot really intended to go, though, because he kissed the 1-ball with the cue ball when it came off the rail. Lovely. The way these guys can move these balls around. He's got to slide behind the 9. Come out the 2. Oh, boy, never mind. And did he get a safe, or is he going to leave an alley? He left an alley. I can tell by the look on his face. Or he left more of an alley than he wants. Sure doesn't look like there's much of an alley there. Can I see the other camera position? See if I can. Oh, he's looking. Yeah, there may be a full alley there. I don't know. We'll know in a minute. Kicked into a safe. But I think he's left the ball. I think he may have left enough ball for Mike to make this shot. little close to his work. No, you can't do that. I'm surprised Ron isn't calling a ref. This is actually against the rules here at this tournament. When balls are that close, well, he's fouled anyway. When balls are that close here at Turning Stone, the rule is you must shoot away from the ball. You must cut it. And Ron Casanzio makes a statement. Now only trails by 1 rack, and it's his break. Score is 4-3. It's a race to 9. Ron's not going to surprise Dechaine because they're both from this part of the country. They know each other well. Well, the wing ball nearly went, and another ball did go, so Ron gets to stay at the table. Right. Now he's got to solve this 3-ball puzzle. Obviously he can make the 8-ball, but when he does, the 2-ball is going to be moving away from the pocket. Now the cue ball, when it comes off the rail, will be moving in the same direction. So perhaps he can load this up with a bit of right, send the cue ball down to the end of the table, play the 2 in the same pocket that he's getting ready to play the combination into. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. Golly, does he have an angle on this ball? He must. He's not taking any time. Good shot. We've got a tie ball game at 4. And the numbers show how close the match is. 867 to 865. Casanzio found his stroke, and he knows that the best way to beat Mike Dechaine is to keep him in his chair. Dechaine's a very powerful player. You just don't want him at the table at all if you can prevent it. Mike gave a little frustrated gesture when that ball didn't check. He must not have hit it quite where he wanted to. He can play the 2 off the 7 into the corner pocket, and that will afford him shape on the 3 ball, but it doesn't look like that's what he's aiming for. I think he's going to play it safe and put the 2 on the top of the 7 and the cue ball below it. Yep. He overstroked that. looking to come in this ball 2 rails, it looks like. He sure doesn't want to make it on a kick because the 3 ball is way up table. Actually, not a terrible result. It's a long shot and the cue ball is on the rail. Mike doesn't have much cue ball to work with here. Of course, position is not difficult, so he can really just concentrate on making the ball. And Mike can make the ball. Mike's a little bit off his game at the moment. That's what happens when you sit in the chair too long. Happens to the best. But it's also frustrating to have a nice lead and have it get erased. Mike Dechaine, 5-4 over Ron Casanzio. It's a race to 9. And Mike's going to, no, he's not taking a break. He's just going for a little glass of water. You know, that's a good idea. I'll be right are about to have a tie match at 5 games apiece in a race to 9. Time to start watching for shaky arms. The numbers show the comeback here. Casanzio, I mean, they're still very close. They're just neck and neck, but Casanzio has upped his score to 891. Dechaine sitting at 875. There's just nothing between these two. And Ron's going to go try and get a glass of water, and that thing is empty, baby. Unless some of the ice is melted. Now he's coming back with an empty cup. Watch the 9. Oh, if that 6 ball hadn't been there, that would have been a game. That 9 ball is really got an attraction for that corner pocket on the break shot. Ron trying to figure out what to do with the 5, the 9, and the 6. That's the problem that has to be solved for this rack. But if he can play the 4 so that he comes down to this end of the table, the 5 goes up table, then the 6 has got a pocket, so that problem's pretty easy to solve. What's critical is this shot, because he has to get on the 4 with the right angle to get down table for the 5. And he may decide to go another way. He can play the 5-6 combo and all that. But most players are going to avoid combinations if they can. And he can now. He can come down here. Nope, he's going to play the 5-6, it looks like. Oh, he's upset. He wanted to come down this way another half diamond so he could play the 5 in the corner across. And he can still do that, but it's a much tougher shot. And he's going to run into something. Things could get ugly here. Oh, that's one of the ugly things that could happen. no chance to play shape on the 7. He's got to take what the table gives him. The table wasn't overly cruel. I mean, he's got a shot here. And it's fairly automatic position if he cuts it in the side. Yep. And this will be Casanzio's first lead of the match. No, he led 1-0. That's right. He now leads 6-5. And the numbers, Casanzio now over 900. A very handsome score, or stat rather. This statistical system that AccuStats does is really unique. I mean, it's just like the stats in baseball. You really get to see a player's power with it. You get points added to your score for successful shots. Points are taken away for unsuccessful shots. Like that. that will lower him below 900. Break was dry. The kind of error that will cost you is a scratch on the break, a missed shot, a kicking error, safety error, or a position error. This already in this match twice. But if he takes this on and misses it, he gives up the rack. He sells it out. So we get a safety. And a really good one. He can't be kicking, Dechaine can't be kicking into a pocket, so he's just got to kick and try and kick safe. Yeah, he could do the risky kick, go between the 6 and the 7 and check the ball with right English and try and straighten it out to come down to 2, but he's not going to take that on. Trying to put distance between the 2 balls, and he's going to get a blocker as well, I believe. I believe the 3 blocks are part of the 2 ball. Ooh. A fairly fortunate turn for Ron. Very nice return shot. I can't see the angle on the 2.5. I don't know if that's on or not. It might be. If you wonder why I'm laughing, I can hear Pat Fleming, but you can't. And he is enjoying a piece of bubble gum like it's the last piece of bubble gum that's ever going to be made. No, you're not bothering me. Go ahead. I just think it's funny. It keeps making me want to laugh. Boy, Dechaine really needs this rack. It's either going to be 6.6 or 7.5. And he definitely needs the 6.6. Nice shot. If he gets shape, and he did. Oh, we've got a race to 3 coming up here, folks. 6-6 and a race to 9. Dry break. And this is not the toughest table to get through. If you get shape on the 3 ball, this table's yours. 1's easy shot, getting shape on the 2 is easy, but then you got to get a shot on the 3. Yeah, now what he's looking at is, can he leave the cue ball like up by the side pocket and still make that shot? If he can, that takes the 8-ball out of the game, and that's the big problem right now is that 8-ball. Because it has really big ears sticking out in front of that 3-ball. Just a little bit past the side pocket would be great. But he may have a different idea. You can always see different things when you're actually at the table. That's a problem. Not a huge problem because he's got an easy safety here, but it stops the run. Oh, man. What a shot. Holy cow. Got guts. You got to give him that. Whoa. Golly, he is really coming with some shots here. If Casanzio doesn't win this match, it's not because he doesn't want it bad. I can tell you he's got Mr. Dechaine very frustrated at the moment. Tough when you're fighting a bulldog. Especially a bulldog with teeth as sharp as this. This guy's, you know, when he's called on to make a shot, he just makes the shot. He's a little straight here, but he doesn't look real worried about it. Maybe he's got more angle than I can see. Yeah, he did. Rail will check his speed nicely for him. (7-6), Casanzio over Dechaine. Race to 9. We are getting close. And the numbers show these men still very close. Casanzio, though, is back up above 900. If you're shooting above 900, it's going to be hard to beat you. Well, 4 to the 5 is the difficulty here. And he's got to get shape on that 4 ball off of this shot. Let's see how he does. Oh, he does great. I think he can just straight draw this ball back. Talk about pinpoint position. Yeah, no problem at all. Now he just has to keep the 7 ball out of his life. If he runs into it, he doesn't want it to come off the rail and get between the cue ball and the 6. But I think he can avoid it. Well, I'm not sure. He's studying. He's got his mouth scrunched up, so he's thinking about something. Yep, he had to hit it, but he kept it out of his life. Long shot, though. This is one of those shots where players sometime will ask the cue ball to do too much work. They'll try to draw it back down around the side pocket instead of just drawing it a couple of inches back and settling for a little bit longer shot. The arm gets tight on the stroke, and the ball goes wobble, wobble, wobble. He didn't make that mistake. Ron is really shooting a clean game here. Ron Casanzio, by the way, in addition to being a really fine pool player, is a fine gentleman. He's very mild-mannered, soft-spoken, doesn't spend an inordinate amount of time talking about himself. Good fellow. And with that last name, I imagine he can find you a really good Italian restaurant. And he is on the hill. 8-6. Dechaine is in shock. He did not expect this. But like I said, he knows Ron. He's known him should have known him for a long time. He should have known he's a threat to win anytime he steps up to the table. Pat and I were talking about the last time we were here, and we think it was Dennis Hatch that he chopped down. We know he took down a giant. That was a tight rack. That 9 ball barely moved. Now Dechaine's really got to come with it here. He cannot afford a mistake. Shooting over the 9 ball. We're playing all ball fouls. If he hits that 9, it's a foul. Oh boy. I'm afraid that's all she wrote. Mike will probably not get back to the table. Let me look for problems. 1, 2, no problem, no problem, no problem, no problem, no problem. All right, there's no problem. There's just not a problem on the table. Oh, and you can see now that Casanzio is widening his lead in the statistics, 919 to 853, and 919 is a proud match for any player. Doesn't like it. He may be straight and he needs to get down table. Oh boy. A glimmer of hope is running through Dechaine's body right now. Ron may have to just follow over to where you see his cue stick right now and just take a long, long shot on that 7 ball. Wow. Oh, no, he hit some angle. Still going to be a long, long shot, but it's not as bad as it could have been. Still, this is a nasty little cut. And the whole room has moved down here and is watching this match. You think you've had a hard day at the office? Try putting spectator seating in your office. Look at this. God almighty. What a shot. Under all this pressure. Wow. So many times we'll see a player make a really tough shot and then miss the next one because they think everything's easy after that. So, but Ron's got too much experience for that. Look at this shot. This man is going to, when this ball drops, he will have shot a 928 on AccuStats. That's amazing. Mike Dechaine in 8:53. Casanzio wins the match 9-6. Great match, guys. Hey, we're going to be back at 10 o'clock with one more match from you. I know that one of the players is Hunter Lombardo, so if you look at the brackets and know who he's playing, you'll know what the match is. But it's Hunter Lombardo and another good player. If you've never seen Hunter Lombardo play, you've got a treat in store for you. He's got a really solid game. See you at 10, folks. We'll be back. Dalfonzio. DALFONSO.